Hi everybody, hope you're all okay. Okay, so I am super excited about this magazine box kit. So let's just give you a little peek. So this is my Stamping Special magazine box kit number 9 that has been released today, and it is absolutely stunning. There's been a lot of work gone into this box kit, the colour palette, the stamps, the dies, and just the possibilities of what you can create with this. So I wanted a box kit this time that obviously is going to be amazing for your handmade cards and your journaling and your scrapbooking and so on. But I also wanted it to be a good kit for you to be able to then kind of dip your toe into the mixed media side of things. And it really does all start with the stamps. So just to give you a little heads up, I'm actually recording this video in November 2022. So today is the 22nd of November 2022 to me. But the video is obviously released today, which is the release day of the magazine box kit. So I don't actually have the magazine with me because it's not been published yet. But what I do have is all the elements, and I'm just going to quickly run through these for you. I will obviously be doing more videos for you with the magazine, but I wanted to get this done, and this is a special project that I'm doing this for, that hopefully you can have a go at yourself. And I wanted to take the time before the magazine was released to be able to do that step by step with you. So let's have a quick look at what you're getting. So not only are you getting your fabulous magazine that is absolutely packed with inspiration, I've seen already the design teams projects and the projects that I've made with the box kit, and they are stunning. This is a follow-on from magazine box kit number 7, which was released in February 2022. So it's that kind of theme. It's very shabby chic, it's very floral, it's very pretty, and the color palette is stunning. So if you have your box kit from your box kit number 7, this is absolutely going to extend what you can do with both kits. So here we go. Sorry, I'm coughing down your ear. So here we go. Let's have a quick look at what you get. So these are the goodies that you get with your magazine. So you've got the fabulous magazine, as I say, but now look at this. So you've got 6 dies in this magazine box kit. You've got these fabulous little postage stamps. You've got the postmark, and I kept these separate for you, look. So you've got the postage stamp edge. You've then got 2 rectangles, one that's got stitching and one that's plain. So you can build up a little topper for your sentiments with these 3 dies, or use them individually. And I love this one. This one here, this little postmark, and it does say post in there, and it gives you some little shallow cuts. It's amazing. You're going to use this loads. And then, me being me, you've also got the word special day. So you've got, straight away, just from that, you've got 6 really useful dies that you're going to use time and time again. So they are your 6 dies. Oh, I love these stamps. You know you're not going to get a magazine box kit from me without it being packed with stamps, because stamping is what I do, and this is where I think you get exceptional value for money. So in this little set here, look, you've got 18 individual stamps, and look at these little flourishes. These are stunning, and you're going to be able to stamp these above and below or at the side of your sentiments, just to give them a real shabby chic vintage vibe. But then you've got special delivery, love you, forever, just for you, forever yours. These are really romantic, traditional shabby chic sentiments. And you've also got this fabulous, let me just bring that in, this fabulous little banner here with the roses. So you've got roses at the top and at the side, and some of these sentiments will fit in that banner. And my limited edition stamps that are coming with this box kit will also fit in that banner. So many different options, so many. You've even got an extra little postmark, look. Useful set of stamps, splots, which you can never have too many, and more importantly, look, this is easy to cut out. So you can create dimensional sentiments with that. I love this set of stamps. Now, are you ready for this? Oh, look at these. I am super, super excited about this collection of stamps. I'm going to take them out of the packet. So this is the A4 set of stamps that you know for me. I always give you an A4 set of stamps with my magazine box kits, and these are phenomenal. Look at that corner there with the roses. Look at that flourish there. Look at the extras you're getting. Look at the teeny tiny script, and you can use that so many different ways. So in here, I love this bird cage. Easy to cut out again. Look at that clock. Can you tell? I absolutely love these stamps. And you can see that these are going to be used year in, year out, because they're just never going to go out of fashion. So you've got the postmarks in there. You've got the extra postmarks, the lines from your postage stamps. You've got more stamps in there. You've got the key. You've got the pocket watch. Look at the rose at the top. Matches perfectly with the corner, matches perfectly with this rose, matches perfectly with that flower, and it also matches perfectly with the little banner. How amazing is that? Postcard, look at that. You can even make little tiny notelet cards with that. It just looks incredible. I love these stamps. I absolutely love these stamps. So this is the stamping element. So you've got the 19 in the A4. You've got 18 in the, it's not A6, it's bigger. It's like a 7x5 set. And then you've got 6 dies in here as well. And then moving those to the side. I'm not done yet. I wanted grey board. You all know by now that I am a fan of grey board. And the possibilities that you can do, the different ways you can create embellishments with grey board. So you've got these beautiful flourishes. There is another one at the top. In fact, let me take it out and show you. Take it out and show you properly. It's phenomenal. Here we go, look. So it's an A5 sheet of grey board. You've got the 2 flourishes, and I specifically wanted 2s. Wherever we could get 2s of everything, I wanted 2 of everything in, because like these 2 flourishes here, you can use these. Where are we? Let me come further away. There you go. These 2 flourishes here, you can use these at the top and bottom of a rectangle piece of card and decorate it. You've got these beautiful little frames here that you can pop your sentiments inside. So don't throw the waste away. Use the waste to pop your sentiment on, and you can add dimension and raise it up. You've got 4 little keys in here. You've got some hearts, and you've got some butterflies, and these fabulous, fabulous little flourishes for tucking underneath your foliage. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Can you tell? I love this box kit. I think it's one of my favourites. As they all are, but there's a lot of work gone into this one, so I know it's exactly what I wanted. And now we move on to the paper elements. Oh my word, these are incredible. Look at the detail in these floral arrangements. So I don't know whether you've ever noticed this before, but they all do have, so all the light elements do have little shadows around them, so that if they're not easy to cut out, so like this one where it's a little bit fiddly, it doesn't really matter. Just, I'm the worst at fussy cutting, you know I am. So you've got the little bit of forgiveness there with the outline edge. You've got tags, you've got sentiments, you've got postage stamps, you've got fabulous toppers. Look at these flowers, amazing. So I'm not going to spend ages going through it. Oh, look at these papers. You can see, just looking at these 2 pages side by side, how the whole colour palette has been put together perfectly. Look at that. That is amazing. I am oohing and ahhing a lot, I know, I'm sorry. Look at these papers. These are absolutely stunning. And remember, you get 2 sheets of each of these. How useful is that? How gorgeous is that? And that is the same as the corner stamp. Amazing. Oh, look, this is absolutely fabulous. These are favourite papers. You can't go wrong with these lovely florals. Another shade of the polka dot, and this script one here with the lovely dusky pink. More florals, different coloured pinks, and then back to the back page. This is actually the back page, and then it repeats. Look at that. So if you're going to have the project I'm going to do today, if you're going to have a go at it, this would be perfect for it. And then it just repeats. Look, so you've got two of everything. Absolutely stunning. I am so pleased with this collection. So let's put that to one side, and I'm going to bring in, because what I wanted to do today was show you how to use all these elements. And obviously most of you will be experienced enough as card makers to be able to look at that and think about the value straight away. But remember at the beginning of the video when I first started, I said I want to be able to gently ease you into dipping your toe into mixed media. And this is what we're doing today. So I've already done my basic layout, and I'm going to recreate some of these elements before I start making this, to show you what I've done. So top tips for you when you're creating a canvas. This is one of my new A4 canvas boards. This is a proper canvas. I can't tip it up because everything will fall off. And I'm just going to bring that in so you can see how, I don't know, there you go, you can just see the texture. These are quality canvases. They're already pre-primed, so you don't have to worry about priming it. If you don't want to, you don't need to. If you want to, go for it. But these are already pre-primed, and the canvas is superior quality. It will take whatever you throw at it. So I've created my basic layout. So where do you start with a canvas? So I've started knowing that I wanted to create this torn effect. And this corrugated board you see here is actually, it's a cardboard box. And I've chopped it down, torn it, and you can see where I've scraped the top off, look. Where are my tweezers? You can see, look here, where I've scraped the bits of paper from the top. Yeah, but waste not, want not. Use all those boxes up, and let's face it, we've all got plenty of delivery boxes these days, and it's just texture, it's instant texture, and craft card, particularly the craft colour, will go so well with this box kit. So we're going to start with this, and I'm going to move all my elements off. And as I use different products, I will explain to you what I'm using, because I'm going to start by adding some colour to the canvas using my chalk paints. So I don't want a lot, so just along the top, look, and along the bottom is where I want a little bit of colour. So all these elements, biggest tip I can give you is to figure out what you want. Use this as a template. Honestly, this is why I'm here. I'm here to give you ideas and inspiration. So absolutely have a go at what I've done here. And that's a really good starting point, and then it builds your confidence up. So I'm going to put these bits, and I'm going to try and keep them in the orders that I've got them, because this is how I want them on my canvas. So let's just pop them in the different section of my mat. Look at these little dinky keys, aren't they beautiful? That's from the grey board from the box kit. And then all these elements, so these flowers that you're looking at now that I'm moving, they're actually the stamp in the A4 stamp set. So I've created these gorgeous little elements here simply by using the stamps and the papers that come in the kit. There aren't many products I'm adding to this that aren't in the kit. So this is one of the toppers, and I just love that sentiment. I just absolutely love the meaning of that sentiment. Kindness can change the world. It's so true. Fabulous. I just loved that. But obviously these flowers don't match with what I'm doing today, so they're going to be covered up, and you can absolutely do that. This here is again a box, and this is using my stitched torn circle dies, and yes, I have cut a box. Just bear in mind, I'm going to show you, let me just bring them in and show you, because I like to show you what I'm using in case it's the first time you've seen me create anything on YouTube. So these are my stitched torn circle dies. I honestly don't know how many we've got left, and remember, I'm recording this video a few months before you're watching it, so I honestly don't know what's left. There will be a link in the description of the video So hopefully there are some left for you by the time we get to that. So this is what I've used to create this fabulous textured circle. You can see it's from the same box, but what happens is, because it's corrugated, as you're running it through your machine, it flattens it. So some boxes they will cut, and some boxes they won't. Clearly it depends on how thick the cardboard is. And this paper is just fabulous. This paper is just so pretty. You've got turquoisey blue tones in there, shabby pink, dusky pink, pale pink, and then obviously you've got the brown from the wood grain. It's almost sacrilege. This is why I like to give you 2 sheets. I'm just going to sneeze, everybody. Bless me, I'm sorry about that. That's what happens when you're working with corrugated card. So this is one of the papers, and I've literally just torn it at the top, torn it at the bottom, cut it to the same width as my craft cardboard box here, and then just torn it top and bottom. Remember, if you tear it towards you, you'll get that lovely white edge, which is what I wanted. So let's pop that over there, because we are going to be stamping on that. And this, like I say, you can see, look, it's literally a box from a delivery, and I've just torn it to the size that I want it, and then just didn't worry about the middle part. But you can see, look, where I pulled these bits off. Yeah, so I've literally just pulled these bits of paper from the top of the box off, and then you can leave some on. I quite like leaving some on, and then because the middle's going to be covered up, it doesn't matter, nobody's going to see that. And there we go. So that's literally it. So I've not used many other products apart from what we're getting with the kit. Of course, we are going to be adding some colour to this, and we're going to be using my chalk paints. I've got my coffee, so I'm just going to get a drink. I hope I didn't slurp down your ear. So you don't have to do this, and there are lots of different ways you can do this. This canvas, because it's already primed, it's actually a lovely shade of off-white, so it works really well with my alabaster white card. So you don't need to add colour to it if you don't want to. I like to just add a little bit of watery effect colour at the top and bottom, and as I mentioned, I'm going to use my chalk paints. And I'm going to assume that you've not seen these before, so I will show you the current range of 15 colours. So chalk paints are absolutely fabulous, especially if you're doing vintage shabby chic type projects, which is what I'm doing today. So you'll get a lovely soft tone of the colour. So clearly I'm going to use that pink, which is called rose tinted. And there are 2 different blues in here that might work. So there's Oxford Blues, which is a stronger blue, and then there is this one here, which is actually called Minty Fresh. So it is a greeny blue, and it's kind of like what do you call it, speckled egg, distress oxide. So it looks quite nice with that. So we're going to try 2 different shades of blue and see which one works. Remember to keep these upright. There is a link to the chalk paints in the description. I always put links in to make it easy for you to find things. And you can buy those individually, or you can buy those in sets of 5. And I put the sets of 5 together to make it cohesive. So how do you add colour to this blank canvas? Easy peasy. Remember, I've already got this here, so I know I only want a little bit of this colour at the top and at the bottom. Doesn't matter if it goes to the end, but there's absolutely no point covering the middle up, because you're not going to see it. So it's literally the top and the bottom. And you can keep using that as your guide, look, so you can see where you need to be, even once you've got the paints on. So we'll start with the pink, and then I can just drop some of the blue on to check, so I can check which colour I want. Look at that gorgeous colour. Is that not just pretty? And remember, these are all water soluble, so it'll just wipe straight off your fingers if you need it to. So I'm doing this bit first because I'm going to leave these to dry as long as I possibly can naturally. And the easiest way to get the colour on, I don't need that just yet, is to create a little, I'll do it here so you can see what I'm doing. So I've just created a pool of water there, and I'm going to do the same straight onto my canvas here. And I'll do the top and bottom. So I've just got some water on there. Oh, actually, you can actually see in the screen. Yeah, you can just see where I've got that. And before I put any paint on, I can just check. Look at that. It's almost perfect. I'm going to put a little bit more there. There we go. And then I'm going to take one of my little brushes. So just one of my little brushes. So a little flat brush. And I'm going to take some of that paint and mix it in. So I've already told you that this is a water reactive product. The chalk paints are water reactive, so they do, you can see there, look, we've created this beautiful soft pink shade. So I'm literally now just going to tap that on. This is how complicated this is, look. Not at all. And because we've got the water on the canvas already, you can see it starts to move straight away. It's easy peasy. And I'm going to do the same along the bottom. And then I'm going to test the blues first to see which colour blue I want. Because the Oxford Blues is fabulous and it's a stronger blue, but it might just be too strong. So some of these areas where I squirted water on the canvas are already starting to evaporate. And that's the best way, to let them dry. Just let them dry naturally. I think we'll stop there. I'll just check that I've got it where I want it. So let's just put the little board over the top again, look, to see. There you go, look. So I know that I can come a little bit lower here. And I can go a little bit higher there. Remember, this will dry like a watercolour cloud by the time we've finished. Oops, I'll move that so I don't get paint on it. And I'm going to come a little bit further up at the two ends as well. Just like that. Just like that. Easy peasy. And this is a quality product. You know that from me already. And just so you know, there will be some more chalk paints coming this year. That's fabulous. I told you it's a really soft, gentle pink. Take as long as you like. Doesn't matter. You just get it how you want it. It's meant to be a really subtle, watery background. So I'm happy with the pink. I'm going to leave the paints there because I might use them again to splat later. And now we'll try the two different blues. So I'll just rinse my brush off. I suspect it's going to be the minty fresh that I go for. You can mix these together as well. So let's just try, because the blue in the papers, if I just bring one of the flowers in to show you, the blue in the papers, look, is a bit like a soft denimy blue as opposed to a duck egg blue, which is what made me go for the Oxford Blues. Let's just see how much we can get from this. I'm going to test it on a bit of card first. Those of you that know me know that I don't do dirty fingers. Or I don't actually mind dirty fingers as long as I can wipe it straight off. So let's just test this on a little bit of card and see how soft we can get that. Now I'm actually really happy with that. So I was wrong thinking that it would be the Minty Fresh, because that look, when it's with the water, see how much softer it is? That's why I love paints, because you can just water them down and create new colours. So what we'll get here is some overlap, but these paints are particularly good at retaining their original colour. So we'll get, where it's paler, we might get a lovely lilac tone, but where it's not so pale, it will stick to blue. Remember, they dry a lot lighter. You can actually see with the pink how much lighter the pink's got. And I'm literally just tapping the colour on. Anybody can do this. Absolutely anybody. And you know what? You know, if you put it on and you decide you don't like it, wait till it's, just wipe it off, prime your canvas again with the gesso and go again. That's one of the good things about mixed media, particularly with canvases. If you decide you don't like it after you've done it, just wipe it off and start again. So I'm going to leave that like that. And I'm not going to, I might do a little squirt of water just to add a little bit of extra flow. So let's just give it another squirt. There you go, look. Softens it straight away, look. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. So remember, that's going to dry lighter than it looks on there. So let's get our piece of board back and try. Just make sure we've got colour where we want it. I think I need to have a bit more blue there. Now I've just cleaned it up. Doesn't matter. Can go again. Just use a bit from the lid. And I will just mist that again. If I want to put some more pink in later, can do. No reason why you can't. You can go back in as many times as you like. Just grab my kitchen roll. I'm going to tear that in half because it's one of my big sheets. Just to wipe that off. And I'll give it another little spray here just to get that blue moving again. That's better. That's much better. So if at this stage you decide you want to add a little bit more pink, I don't think I do, but I'll do it. I wouldn't put more pink on because I quite like what I've got, but I'm just going to show you so you know how to do it. I'm now not going to spritz the paint. I'm just going to take it straight out of the pot and add it straight into the pot, look. Straight onto the canvas and then mist it again. It might look better for having the extra pink in. This is why you do this first. Do all your wet jobs first, and then it allows them to dry. It allows them to dry naturally. Or as long as you possibly can. I might need to blast it at the end, just because I'm doing a video for you. There you go, that's perfect. Perfect. So now I've got plenty of pink on there. Plenty of pink, plenty of blue. So I'm going to pop this over on my other desk so it can be drying. So remember, it doesn't matter if this moves. Look, you can move it as much as you want. But it will, where it sits, that's where it will dry. Just Just making sure it's level. That's it. Okay, so we'll leave that now as long as we possibly can to dry naturally. The longer you can get it to dry naturally, the better. I just think the paint dries better when it's not forced, and clearly it won't move around. So if you can imagine, if you've got your heat tool on there, it's going to blow the water around, and we don't want that. Right, so let's come back now to this fabulous little background. And in actual fact, when I was prepping for this earlier, when I was getting all my bits ready for the video, I did think it's a shame to do anything else to this, because it's actually beautiful in its own right. But we are going to add some more stamping to this, and this is why I wanted all those little, we call them worker stamps, all those little worker stamps. So coming back to the A4 sheet, and I'm going to use this script here, and the colours I've chosen for this, I've literally used two sheets of paper. Well, I've used two and a half sheets of paper to create this canvas, because this is a half, and I kept to the same patterns for the flowers, the same two patterns for the flowers. But you could change this, so you could take any of those papers from the kit. In fact, you could use some of my papers yourself, so from my paper collections you could do that. So we're going to add some script to this, and I'm going to do the script first, and then I might add some watermarks too. And remember, my magazine papers are not shiny, that you can stamp on these, you can heat emboss onto them, you can do so much with them. So I'm going to stamp using VersaFine Clair, and I've chosen VersaFine Clair Fallen Leaves because it's a lovely shade of brown. It's a rich deep brown, and it also will tie in nicely to the brown flecks in this paper. And I don't want this everywhere. I already know that I need where my center focal point is going to be, where that fabulous sentiment's going to be. I can do a few down here, I can do a few up there, and I can maybe do a couple just coming off the edge there. And that's all I need to do. Let's try and keep this straight. So remember, magazine stamps are acrylic. They're not photopolymer. So I would always recommend treating yourself to the VersaFine Clairs. So I'm just going to create my own little design. Instantly changes it. Instantly changes this paper. Oh, it looks so beautiful. So I'm just adding a couple, and then I'll do a couple of the extra little postmarks as well. I'm going to go there, I think. In fact, I think I'm going to stamp off the page. Yeah, stamp off the page with that one. And then I'm going to do the same up here. Just remember, you're not going to see a lot of this. I'll do a little bit there as well. Shall I? No, I'm not. I'm going to do it here. Decisions. You're spoilt for choice. So all I'm doing, this is why I tell you to have a rough layout in your head. But I do the same with cards. So when I'm designing card layouts, I will do a rough draft first, and then build it up till it gets to where I want it to be. So I know that by the time this center point goes on, look, yeah, you're still going to see some of that text. Can you see where I'm going with this? Put that back where it belongs. Put the stamp back where it belongs, and then you won't lose it. You know, I always tell you to put your stamps back, especially when you get to the little ones. And then I think we'll have a couple of this one. And I'm going to do these ones second generation. So second generation, in case you don't know, is just a lighter shade. It's where you put the ink on, stamp it onto a bit of paper, which I will get here. Is that paper? Is that's paper? I'm just checking. So you would ink your stamp up. Oops. You would ink your stamp up. I'm going to wipe that because that will bug me if I don't. Can you tell I don't do messy? Ink your stamp up, stamp it onto a bit of paper, and then stamp it onto your wherever you want it. And then look, we've created 2 different shades from the same ink pad. Love that. I love that little stamp anyway. I love every single one of these stamps. There's not one stamp in this set that I don't think I would use. And for somebody who's been a stamper for many, many years, that's a bold statement. I'm going to go here with that. And then we're going to finish up. In fact, do you know what? Because we can, I'm going to put a couple on here. Because you're only going to see the edges, look. In fact, I know that my flowers are going to go where these flowers are. So I know you're only going to see this bit. So I'll do first and second generation. Make sure that's straight. I can see that the grain in the grey board. Fabulous. Fabulous. In fact, I'm not doing any more because I just want to put some lines on next. I don't think this will be a quick video, but I am showing you, apart from all the fussy cutting that I've done already, I am showing you from start to finish. Let's just do some lines. I'm not going to do lines where I've got the script, I'm just doing it here. Look how easy that was. It almost looks like a vintage topper. And it's literally a die cut cardboard box with a little bit of stamping on it. Amazing. Amazing. So let's pop that lid back on before I stick my finger in it. We'll pop that to one. Look how fab that looks. Told you it's a cardboard box. There's the proof. Right, so I'm going to keep that little bit of paper to one side in case I do any more second generation stamping. And we're going to move now on to the flowers. No, I'm not. I'm going to move back to this. I'm going to move back to this. Because you know I'm going to gesso this within an inch of its life. So one of the things I love to do is use my gesso. So my white gesso, and we're going to shabby this up a little bit on the edges, and we're going to give it some splats as well. And I know we're not going to see a lot of it. So I know I only need to focus, look, on the top and bottom. Same as everything else, but it just gives it a lovely vintage feel. So, gesso. Oh, link in the description, everybody, to my gesso. And I do 2. I do the white and I do the black. And it's definitely worth having the black as well as the white. So if you were, for example, painting your grey board and you were using darker colours and you needed to paint it twice, it's definitely worth priming it with black rather than white. For the paler colours, obviously you would use white. So for this I'm using a soft brush. So I don't know whether to tell you this or not. So I'm not sure whether at this stage, because remember I'm doing this video in November, November 2022. So I'm not sure yet whether my brushes are here, but if they are here, I will make sure I make a big song and dance about it all over social media, because they are fabulous. And it's taken me months to source a manufacturer who could do exactly what I wanted with my brushes. So I've just dipped the very tip of this. This soft brush is the best one for this. And I'm going to take off the excess, look. And I'm literally just going to brush that over the top. So it's dry brushing. Effectively, it's dry brushing. But just remember to keep it all in one direction. So when you start doing this, you can tell it's a different direction. So keep it all in the same north-south. You're only going to see a bit, don't forget. And you can see that starting to, I should really do it on here. You can see that starting to pick the white up. And it's up to you how much you put on. I don't want loads on, I just want it to have that lovely softness. And I'm just going to go on the edge. I'm just going to do a little bit on the edge. That's better. The soft brushes are better for this. Because they get into the nooks and crannies. And then I'm just going to repeat that process at the bottom. So remember to take as much of the excess off as you can. Don't apply any pressure. So I'm literally just letting the surface of the brush hit the corrugated areas. I'm not really applying any pressure. And it takes a bit of cardboard box waste and makes it look really rather fabulous. So I'm just going to do the edges of this one as well. I think I've been a bit skinny with, there you go. And because we've got this lovely little white, almost like a frosty edge, it'll make the paints underneath that we've just put on the canvas stand out a little bit more. Okay, so that's enough of that. We'll get the paper. So once I put the paper on, look, oh, that just looks fabulous, and it's so easy to do. So now we need to add some splats to this. So normally I would use my splatter brush, but because I've got gesso on this already, I'm just going to use this brush. And I have got my little splatter box here. And I'll try and do this on here so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got the gesso on my mat, look. Oops, where are we? There you go. I'm just going to squirt some water on it. And as a general rule of thumb, the more water you put on this, the more translucent the gesso will be on your project. So I'm standing up to do this. And I literally want some splats just along the top. And the bottom. Just get a few more on there. Now I'll turn the card around rather than the box, so you can see what I'm doing. This is the wrong brush for this, by the way. It is definitely better with a splatter brush, because they're the fan brush, the ones that are shaped like a fan. And I'm only doing this because I didn't want to, well, A, dirty another brush, and B, waste the gesso I've already got on there. So I've nearly used everything off my mat. Just trying to get the last bit off. Waste not, want not. Oops, that's gone all up my hand, but there you go. Again, it's another water-based product, and that is enough. So let's just wipe that off my hands. It's always up my computer screen. The computer's right in front of us. So I'm just wiping my screen, everybody. There we go. It's easier to get off when it's wet than it is when it's dry. There we go. My throat's dry, so I'll get a drink in a second. So put that back in the direction it's meant to be. Look. Isn't that fabulous? Easy peasy as well. And it's just texture and dimension. So then put your bit of paper over to see what that looks like, and that looks absolutely stunning. That just looks stunning. I mean, Shabby Chic is one of those things where you've got stains and splats and scratches and things anyway. So the fact that we can create our own from bits of paper and a bit of gesso or paint is just amazing. So we're going to do two other things now. I'm just going to quickly just check on my canvas. Oh, I'm going to show you this because it looks beautiful. Oh, I've just tipped it. Can you see, look, where it started to dry on the right hand side? That's just fab. I'll put it back so I'm not moving it around again. So it is drying. Obviously I'm doing this in the middle of winter. If you were in summer, that would probably be dry by now. So I've got another couple of jobs to do. And I'm going to bring in the flowers now. So there are lots of flowers I've had for this card, for this canvas. And I haven't used dyes for them. I've actually used the stamps. And this is one of the reasons why I spent so much time with the guys at Practical, getting the designs right for these stamps, because I wanted you to have stamps that are more than just backgrounds, more than just toppers. We're actually creating embellishments now. So these flowers are all this stamp. So every single one of them is this stamp. And I've created the corners as well. Put your lid on the gesso, Phil. So for the corners, I'll just get this one because it's the easiest one for me to reach. I've even used this corner stamp to create my corners, look. How beautiful is that? So you can see quite easily, quite clearly, that I have stamped onto the patterned papers from the kit, and it just looks beautiful. So I've used two papers for this kit, from this kit for the flowers, and I'm going to show you the bits I've got left over. Because I've got loads left. And I am going to stamp a couple of butterflies once we've done this. So I've used this paper here, this paper here, and I've also used the waste, so the bits that I tore off from there of what I used to create these, look. The little die cut postmarks. Aren't they fabulous? So you don't waste anything. But now, so I've done the blue flowers are from this paper, and they look completely different, but the pinks and the blues just look gorgeous together. Look at that. So what I've done is decoupaged. I've created some decoupage layers for these corners. Just pop that there. And this is one of the things I love about stamps that do more than one thing. So I'm actually going to ink around the edge of the pink flowers, and I'm going to do one at a time and then stick these together. So I'll do the sections, because these are the sections I've put the embellishments in. And for the distressing, I'm not going to use the Fallen Leaves Versified Clay. I'm moving on to my favourite brown in the Distress Oxide range, which is Ground Espresso. And Ground Espresso is a true dark brown. It's amazing. And I'm using a smoothie to apply this, and I'm only doing the pink flowers just to give me some differentiation between the pink and the blue. And I'm not going over the top, I'm literally just going on the edges, look. So I'm just adding a tint of the brown on the edges. And all it means is when I come to shape these up later, they look a bit different to the blue ones. Look at the difference. Let me bring one. That's the difference, look. So the one with the ink on, it actually makes the pink stand out more, and one without. And I'm going to do the same on these corners. So it's not an exact science. It doesn't matter if you get too much on. It doesn't matter if you don't get enough on. It's still going to look vintage, and it's still going to look shabby chic. So I'll do these one at a time. I'm going to do these as well while I've got them out. So these are the little vintage postage stamps that are in the A4 set as well. I'm just going to give these a bit of an inky edge. You can do as much or as little as you like. You don't even have to do it, but it does make them pop a little bit. And then I'm going to decoupage these up. So that's separate. That's one on its own. I'm going to decoupage these up. And this is why I love these stamps so much. I'm going to do this now so that they can be drying while we're doing other parts of the project. So I've purposefully not inked the blue, look. And that's what makes these stand out a little bit more, because there's no inky edge. So let me just get these glued together. I'm not going high with the layering. I'm just want a little bit of texture. So I've chosen the center rose and the two outer edge flowers to decoupage up in blue. And it's simply just stamping it onto the different papers. I've used the same brown ink, so let's make sure I get that in the right place. Look at the difference. It looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I love this so much. So much, because we're creating a dimensional embellishment now, and I've not even splattered this or done anything else to it. I've literally just stamped it on two different patterned papers that are coming with your box kit. Look at that, look. How beautiful is that embellishment? There's no glitter on it yet either. So let me just repeat that as I work through these collections, because I want to do it as we go. You can tell I'm talking a lot because my voice is dry, my throat's dry. So definitely worth treating yourself to Ground Espresso. And although these flowers are not die cut, these are stamped and cut from the magazine, I'm still going to give them a crinkly shape. I'm still going to curl them up with my ball tool later on. Remember, you could use, if you've got my Colour Radiance luster powders, you could go over these with the Luna, the pearl one, and give them a pearly sheen. So I'm just doing the pink. So I'm just working my way around the edges. No more pink there. Did I have a postmark there? Yeah, but I'll leave that one. Don't mix the sections up, Phill. Ah, Look at this. Look at this amazing pocket watch. Again, is one of the stamps in the A5 in the A4 set. So I'll just go around the edge. Just a little bit. And the flower that's on the top of here, look. I'm just coming in a little bit further on this just so we get some brown on the actual clock. There we go. Fabulous. And look, I've even decoupaged that little rose in the blue. Possibilities endless. And this is stamping onto patterned papers. You imagine doing this onto coloured cardstock and then heat embossing it. You imagine using your glossy accents on things like this and getting the lovely glossy sheen. Oops. Put that back where it should be. Look at that lot. Isn't that just pretty? And there is going to be glitter on these later on. So let me just get onto my pinks again and get these done. So remember, these are the two corners. Not worrying about it. Not worrying about getting loads of ink on. Not worrying about not getting a lot on. I'm just putting some on. Whatever's on is on. Doesn't matter. Don't stress. Drafting should be fun. Keep it fun. Who cares if you get ink where you don't need it? And again, I'm repeating the decoupage layers. And the only reason I'm doing this now is because it gives the glue a chance to set a little bit before we start putting all the elements onto the canvas. So at the moment we've got the grey board, not the grey board, we've not done that yet. We've got the corrugated card with the splats on, drying in the background. We've got the canvas with the gorgeous chalky paints on, drying in the background. And this is absolutely how I would do this if I was making it for myself anyway. All the wet jobs first, and then you can leave them to dry. Aren't they lovely? Look, when you layer up with a different colour. You could do this flat if you wanted to. I just like the dimension. And then I've just got a couple more bits to ink. And then we're going to get painting the grey board. Put the lid on the glue gel because we don't need that for now. Aren't they lovely? Look, these little, I've cut them out and I'm the worst, least patient cutter outer. I'm terrible at fussy cutting. I'd be the first person to admit it. And even I've done this relatively half decent. So if you've got more patience than me, you will have done a better job at cutting out than I have. Just working my way around. You can actually decoupage the flowers within themselves as well, because if you look at the centre of these flowers, you've actually got the extra layers in the middle, look. But as much as I love you, I'm not going to spend 3 hours cutting out the centre of these flowers. But you could once you've got your kit home. Oops, I missed one. Apologies, everybody. I've got another pink flower there. Just put these to the right piles. Now you know why I said keep everything separate, your sections separate, because then you know they're in the right place when you need them. And the other top tip I can give you is once I can't show you because my phone is above us, being used as one of the cameras. But get your layout and take a photo, and then you can once you're happy with it, and then you can look at the photo to see what you did and where you position things. Right, so we have now done all the inking around the edges of all the pink stuff. So we're going to come to these oh, I love grey board, I just love it, to these fabulous little flourishes. And I've also got in the grey board kit, I don't know whether you can remember from the beginning when I first showed you, it's also got some little hearts and some little keys in there. So I should have another heart somewhere, because I'm sure I punched 2 out. Oops, but I can't find it. I've just squashed that flower though. No, maybe I only had one heart cut out. I'm just checking. Nope, there should be another one somewhere. So let me see if it's in here. Oh, there you are. I've even saved, look, can you see these little teardrops? These little teardrop shapes. These are actually the waste from the flourish. I thought, well, I'm not going to waste them. They could be nice little extra embellishments. So we're going to paint these now. And we're going to paint them, we're going to stipple paint them, which is slightly different. And I'm going to do these, I think I'm going to do these in pink as opposed to blue. But I'm going to give you a little tip. So I've got a couple of Distress Oxides here that will work with the kit that we're using today. So I would recommend that you can use you would get these colours, use these colours because they go nicely with the whole kit. So Stormy Sky is actually the perfect blue. It's the perfect blue. Speckled Egg also works really well with this kit. Kitsch Flamingo is a stronger pink than Sponge Sugar. So Sponge Sugar is the one that I would tell you to use. You could even use Victorian Velvet, but it's a bit darker. So Sponge Sugar is the one I would tell you to use, but maybe do highlights with Kitsch Flamingo. But we're going to do this. And we're going to give these... oh, no, I'm doing it the wrong way around. We're going to paint these with gesso. And it dries really quick. And I'm going to stipple the gesso on. So I am going to use the pink paint and probably the blue and show you how to dilute it, and then we're going to edge it with the inks. So these brushes, I've had these brushes for years. You can see the state of it, look. In fact, it's even losing some of its bristles. But it's a perfect stippling brush. So I'm stippling the gesso on. Always recommend you do this from the lid. So even if you need more primer, more gesso, stipple it in the lid. And I'm literally just going to stipple the white on. And this could, you don't have to do this. I just like to do it with this because I'm giving it a white undertone. So if we'd have gone straight on with the paints, we wouldn't have had the white undertone. That's the only reason I've added the gesso to this. As ever, I'm doing it on a bit of kitchen roll. I can't be doing with mess. How long have I been? Just over an hour, so I'm not doing too bad. We've done quite a lot in just over an hour. And I'm not going to stop until this project is finished, because I really want you to have a go. And please do copy exactly what I've done if you want to do. Just remember, my new canvases are available now, or hopefully are, because it's November and I'm just finalising stuff with them. So can you see now, because I've just stippled this, so instead of painting it, I've stippled it. Oops, and what we're getting is that lovely shabby look. I mean, that's beautiful in its own right. You could even just get some inks and just some ink shading on the edges, and that would look fabulous. But we're just going to let that dry for a second, and then we're going to stipple the pink paint on. I might do the blue first because the blue was stronger, so we'll make the blue paler. So we'll do blue first. This is nearly dry. It dries really, really quick. So I'm now going to create a pale blue chalk paint. So because gesso has chalk in it, it works perfectly with the chalk paint. I'm just getting a wipe to clean my thumb. However, big top tip for you here. Don't dip the gesso brush into the paint pot because the gesso will bleed into the paint and change the colour. So you need to just get a different brush at this stage, just to take some of the blue out. Oh, that's probably too much. I've got a little bit of blue on there, look. I don't need a lot, so that's probably enough. And we're going to do a nice soft blue tone with this. Look at that, look. I can't lift the mat up to show you, but hopefully you can see we've now created a fabulous powder blue. From that strong Oxford blue, we've now created a powder blue paint. That is amazing. And this is why my Flawless Media range, media products, is just fabulous. So I'm going on first with the blue. Oh, it's beautiful. And I'm not covering the whole thing because we are going to go in with pink as well. We're creating two-toned embellishments with this. And I'm stippling again. So in case you're wondering why I'm stippling as opposed to brushing, is because if you get this paint textured enough, it will dry textured on your embossing, on your grey board or cardstock or whatever you're using. So I am going to overlap a little bit with the pink, but I don't want blue everywhere. And I just did enough, look. I think I'll just get away with this. Perfect. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to waste this blue. I'm just going to do a bit on the edge of this because it's too pretty. I just didn't want to waste that paint because the colour is gorgeous. So I'm just dragging it along the edge of this topper. Well, I can definitely tell you I've not wasted any because I'm on the last legs now. Oh. Pretty. Move that out of the way. And then clean your brush off. So remember, it's easy to clean your brushes as well with the gesso on. Even with the chalk paints, because it is water, it will just dilute with water. I mean, look how easy that's come off my mat. And with the pink, I'm just going to go straight on. I'm not going to dilute the pink. I'm just going to straight on. Just in case you're wondering, I am cleaning my brush in a paint pot, not in my coffee, although I have done that before. I have done that before. Let me just go and check how the canvas is drying. Fabulous. Oh, that's lovely. Lovely jubbly. I've just tapped a bit of the excess water off just to speed it up a bit. But it's looking fabulous, as expected. So I'm now not using the gesso. We're now moving on to the paint. And this is not dry yet because I've stippled it on thicker. Remember I told you? Let me just show you how pretty that looks. Doesn't that look lovely already? Even without the pink. So I'm not going to wait for this blue to dry. I'm going to be a rebel. And we're going straight in with the pink. So where I overlap with the blue, we will get a lovely soft lilac colour. So I'm going to make sure I've got enough paint on here so I don't have to dip back into there. So let's go with the heart because that's the driest one. That is just so pretty. I'm trying not to cover all the white up because I do want some white showing. This is why I love grey board. Look what we've done. We've created our own dimensional embellishment. And I might just get away with the paint that I've got on there. Oh, there we go. That is gorgeous. That's just fabulous. Well, I've got to say I'm thoroughly enjoying doing this video with you. Or for you. Whichever way you look at it. With you implies that you're here, but at this moment in time, you are not. So I'm doing it for you. Here we go. So let's get this show on the road. So I'll just bring these in to show you, look. Aren't they just fabulous? So we've gone from that bare grey board to that, a coloured embellishment that matches what we're working on today. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit and then I'm going to give it some ink around the edges, or I'll rub it over the ink, but it needs to be perfectly dry first. So things are coming together nicely. I now need to stamp a couple of butterflies. So in the stamp set, look, you've got that beautiful butterfly there. And I'm going to stamp that on the patterned papers again. But I'm conscious that when I... Oops, not that piece. Where were the other papers, Phil? Not that one. That's my new kit. Oh, there they are. Yeah, I'm conscious that when I was cutting all the bits and stamping all the elements that I got lots of polka dots and lots of this beautiful, beautiful blue paper. Look at this. Can you see it's got a script in there as well? So I'm going to choose the whiter paper for this. And I'm hoping I've still got a scrap left. I could have sworn I did. This is why you never get rid of your scraps. Maybe I haven't. Oops, just knocked something over. No, I haven't. So I'm just going to take another sheet. So these are full A4, remember. And what I would recommend you do is chop them in half. I'm trying to find the one that's got the white wood. Not that one. That's the one. That's the one I want. Yeah, so I would recommend when you get your papers home, just chop them in half on your paper trimmer. Or your guillotine, whichever you use. And then you've got a full A4. But I just want a couple of butterflies and I want them in this white. So this paper, as you can see, look, it's white, shabby white, but it's got the stain, the wood grain in brown. So this is going to be perfect to stamp this butterfly onto. With the VersaFine Clair. So back to the Fallen Leaves VersaFine Clair. And I'm going to stamp 2 of these. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to stamp 3. Look at that. Stunning. Stunning. I'm just stamping them down the same edge rather than waste the paper. What a fabulous way to use the papers in your kit and the stamps together. You're creating things from scratch. You're actually crafting from scratch. I love that. So just give that a second to dry. I'll just chop that section out while we're waiting. The only thing that breaks your heart is you're using one side of the papers. But that's why you've got 2 sheets. What's that? Look, that beautiful blue one is what's on the back of that. So I did have a bloody scrap. Look. Not to worry, not to worry. Right, so we are getting there slowly but surely. I'm going to bring the canvas back in. Just so you can see what's happening. I'm not at that stage yet. So we're still not dry, look. But can you see how soft it is now it's started to dry? So we're not quite 100% dry, as you can see. Look, it's still running a bit. So it might just mean I do need to blast it, but we'll see. Let's see how we go. We've got other jobs to do first. So I'll just cut these out, make sure it's dry. Look, this. What you're about to witness is unheard of, because I don't do fussy cutting very well. And I guess this is why this kit is so fabulous, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have a little bit showing on the edge, or if you cut too far in, it's still going to look beautiful. Let's see if I can be good enough to save the antennae. I mean, I'm saying I'm not very good at fussy cutting, but look how quickly I've whizzed round that. So maybe I'm just not giving myself credit. Look at that, look. Absolutely beautiful. I love this. I just love this kit, full stop. It's amazing. And it works so well with lots of my other products as well, my other stuff. I'm always conscious of that. Make sure we get good value for money. I mean, the box kit's a phenomenal value for money anyway, even with acrylic stamps. Oops, I might have chopped him off, so let's just see if I can salvage that. Maybe not, Phil. We shall see. I am going to glitter the antennae anyway, so it won't matter if it comes off. Well, you can see I've not gone round the edges of that. Won't matter. It will be fine. I've done 3 because 3 is what everybody tells us we're supposed to do. And 3 will actually balance quite nicely. That's not... It'll do. 3 will balance quite nicely on this panel canvas board that we're doing. Hopefully at this stage I have got other shapes on the canvases as well, and you'll notice that some of them I've gone for canvas boards. So canvas boards are the flat versions, and they're fabulous for putting into the, you know, the dimensional frames you can buy, the deep frames, and they're also fab for just standing on you know, the plate stands that you can get. But I also love the traditional sense of the word in canvas because it's home decor, and you can hang them, you can still stand them on the legs of the plate stands and what have you. So there's only one that's a bit dodgy there, but I'm not going to worry about it. Right, so while we're waiting for this, we'll shape these flowers up. If I can find my foam mat. Where would you be if you were a foam mat in Phil's craft room? You would be here. So although these flowers are cut from the stamps, so you can't really shape them as you would do traditionally with a bone folder or anything. I'm just going to give them a little bit of shape, and I'm just going to go around the edge, look. So just by going around the edge, it's, oh, in fact it's worked quite nicely, look. It's still giving us some dimension. So I'm just going to do that for each of these really quickly. So I'm just going around the edge, hopefully getting a little bit of crinkly texture. Yeah, that's perfect. At least I've done this with you from start, well, more or less start to finish. The only thing I had done ahead of time was most of the stamping and cutting out, but you don't need to see me cutting 40 odd flowers out. You'll also notice, and I won't do these till the end, I have used some of my dies in the smaller flowers, and I'll show you those when we get to that stage. And it's really all about balance and personal preference. So I wanted a little bit of plain white to counteract the blues and the pinks, but I didn't want bright white. So this is, it's not my pure white card that I've used for this. It's actually my alabaster cardstock. Oops, sorry, postmark. As I mentioned at the top of the hour when we first started the video, alabaster card is one of my premium cardstocks, and it actually is like an off-white colour. It isn't cream, it's more like a coconut, milky white. So we are getting there, slowly but surely. Don't they look lovely, even just tatted up? And then I'm going to shape the small white ones as well. Just make sure I don't mix them up. So these I am literally just pressing in. I'm not shaping them back, I'm just curling them up. And then they will have gems in. Keeping them all in the sections that they belong. That belongs there. These are my Shabby blooms, in case you're wondering. So the Shabby bloom dies, which I've put somewhere out the way. I'll show you in a bit. But all of my flower dies now have the debossed detail in them. So do have a look at the Shabby collection online. 2 more to go, and then we can start putting the gems in. Right, so I've got 2 different sets of gems for this canvas panel that we're doing today. I've got cornflower blue. So cornflower blue is in my left hand and ice diamond in my right. And cornflower blue is a lovely, lovely shade of pale blue. And then I've gone for, instead of having a pink and a blue gem, I'm just sticking to blue, and ice diamond is transparent. So these flowers here, so these smaller flowers, the alabaster white ones, are going to have cornflower blue gems. So I'm going to do this, and then they can be sitting drying while we're on with other jobs. And it's just a 5mm one I'm using. And the blue just really stands out against the alabaster white. It looks really pretty. So everything, when you say mixed media canvases and stuff like that, this is literally what I've done today. Even though we've not done texture pastes and stuff like that, mixed media is just using a mixture of medias, and that's what we've got. We've got some dyes here, we've used the paints, we've got some grey board, and we've also got the papers from the magazine. So we have used lots of different products today, but in an easy way. And that's the whole point to me. I don't believe in making things harder than they need to be. And I've got every confidence that any one of you watching this today can do this. Once you've got the products, you can absolutely do anything. So that's all the flowers with the gems. And for the paper, oh, I've missed one. Apologies, everybody, I've missed one. And I'm not putting gems in the paper flowers. I am just going to use some glitter in them, because there isn't a traditional centre to the paper flowers as there is with a die cut flower. So I'm just going to do some random glitter, and we are using my faithful, surprise surprise, Diamond Dazzle, and I'm just going to do a bit look like that in the middle, so it's not full on glitter, but it is still pretty. So we've still got some sparkle coming from the middle of the flower, and I've just put that on the wrong pile. I know I did. So I'll work my way through these, and then we might just need to give the canvas a quick blast before we start the assembly. So I'm just doing little dots really in the middle of these. There are some stamens in the middle of this flower, so it kind of looks like we've glittered the stamens. Two-minute job. You could put gems in if you want, of course. I'm just trying to keep these different so they look different to the alabaster flowers. I'm not going to do it on the corners because I don't think it needs it. Just random blobs. Blob, blob, blob. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. And you know what we're going to have to do with the butterflies, because I told you the butterflies antennae have got to be glittered. And I might just do the tips of the wings. So in case you're nodding off, we've probably got about 15 minutes to go. 15 minutes, 20 minutes to go. So we won't be too much longer now. This is how good the quality of the paper is. You've seen me just just grab that poor butterfly and poke its wings up using my tweezers. And it's been stamped on. There we go. Just to give it a little bit of shape. Missed the wings. And then for the corners, remember right at the beginning, I did the corners with the stamped images. So I'm just going to do the centres of the flowers that are in the background, so the pink ones look. So I'm not going to glitter the blue ones, I'm just going to glitter the centres of the pink ones. So that one just needs a bit there, needs a bit there, bit there, bit there. Let's put a bit on the leaves as well. And this will actually enhance the blue flowers. It will make them stand out even more. How pretty is that corner? Fabulous. And then the other one. And now we'll get the canvas sorted. So a little bit of glitter on the leaves. Yeah, that's it. That's so pretty, look. The colours together are just gorgeous. And of course I've got to do this one as well. So let's do the pink again. Do a little bit on the edge of that. Just doing a little bit around the clock face. Just to make it sparkle. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, here we go. Let's get this canvas then and see where we're at. So this is really a tip for you when you're creating a mixed media canvas, in the fact that do all your wet jobs first, like I said at the beginning. If you do all the wet jobs first, they can be drying. So I know that these are probably dry enough now to go over with some ink. I don't know whether, yeah, I think they do. So I think I might be really naughty and do it with brown. I am. Let's just, oh yes. Yes. So we've now vintagified them. Is that a word? Well, if it isn't, it should be. So we've now added a little touch of the, oh yeah, that looks fabulous. I was going to do it with white, and then I just realised the brown would make them stand out a little bit more. So I'm not putting loads on, look. In fact, I've not re-inked. I'm just using ink that's already on the smoothie. Yeah, that's lovely. Lovely. So put them there. They're all perfectly dry now. They will have an accent of glitter shortly. But let's get this canvas sorted. That just looks phenomenal. The bottom is almost dry. Where are we? There's just that little patch there. And the top, obviously I've had that sitting on its side. So we've got that bit that's moved, can you see? But look, we've still got pink, we've still got blue, and we've now got lovely lilac tones from the two paints bleeding into each other. Amazing. So I'm just going to grab my heat tool, my heat gun, when I find it. Here we are. I shouldn't tidy my craft room, because you know as soon as you tidy you can't find things. Are you the same? And I've had a bit of a tidying session this morning. So top tips for force drying your canvas. So I'm using the Wow heat tool. It doesn't really matter which one you're using. If it's a 2-speed one, do it on the low speed. So I'm just going to get a drink because my coffee is now cold as usual. Very cold. And heat this on the low heat. So if I try and angle that so you can see where it's wet. Where are you? There you are. So I'm wafting. So I always tell you not to waft when you're heat embossing powder, but definitely waft when you're drying a canvas, a wet canvas. These colours look stunning. I hope you can see them properly like I can. We've got soft blue, soft pink, and that lovely little tint of lilac from the two colours bleeding into each other. So I'm wafting to keep the heat even, because we don't want to scorch the canvas. And I think that is dry enough for us to work on. And I'll just do the same at the bottom. Low heat and waft. That looks gorgeous. It really does. I can't tell you how beautiful that is. Oops, dropped my heat gun. I'm just plugging my phone back in, everybody. We don't want the camera to turn off while we're mid-craft. Look at that. So we've got the lovely blue tones into the pink, into the lavenders, and then you've got a little bit more pink showing there. It's not meant to be precision, this. It's watercolour. It's a watercolour effect, and that's exactly what we wanted. And that's exactly what we've got. They look like clouds, look. And because we've used chalk paints, the colours are really, really soft. And that's exactly what I wanted. So now let's get cooking on gas. And let's get the assembly of this put together. So remember, we've now got our... Oh, that looks so pretty. It's almost a shame to cover it up. I'm going to do it that way on, because I want to see that. Although my flowers are going up there, but no, I'll stick to where I was. You can still see it. So I'm going to be using glue gel for this, because I favour glue gel. Most of you that follow me will know that. So I'm using the Pin Flare glue gel. You can do this with heavy gloss medium, 3D gel mediums and everything. You can do it with texture paste if you want. But I like the Pin Flare glue gel for this, because I know that once these are on, they're not going anywhere. So let's start at the bottom. So always start at the bottom with the canvas. So I'm going to put all the layers on, and then we'll start the decorating. So I'm just going to put this in straight from the tube, and I'm doing lots of little bits rather than a big heavy blob, because I don't want it to be raised. I just want it to be stuck. So I don't want dimension on this. We just want the glue to do its job and stick everything in place. So where are we? We need to be even-ish. Fabulous. So we are even. Look how gorgeous cardstock the card looks on a canvas. It's fabulous. And you see how soft the splats have gone now they've dried. Look, everybody. So they are soft splats rather than being in your face. So now the paper. So the paper's going on next, and the paper is going on with my white glue rather than glue gel. And I'm going to put I'm just going to put it on thinly. So I'm wiggling top to bottom with this, because the glue is only going to stick where it hits the raised parts. Obviously the centre of this canvas, the centre of the what do you call it, the corrugated card, is solid, so you know you're going to get a good stick there. Let's bring this back to the middle so you can see what I'm doing. Make sure I've got that the right way up. And we just need to make sure it's central. Look how gorgeous that looks. This is how easy it is, everybody. Don't stress about canvases and mixed media, because it's the easiest thing. Once you've done it, you'll wonder why you were scared of it. So I'm just looking at that to make sure the paper's straight, because if it's not, that's it. It would hurt my eyes. Yeah, so we're now at the assembly stage. So we're going to start with the corners. So the corners are going to frame this paper. So I'm going to take them a little bit over, look. Both corners. I'm going to take them a little bit over the edge of the torn paper. And these are going on glue gel. But I'm not actually wanting lots of dimension. Just a little bit. In fact, I'm going to show you how much glue gel I'm using, just so you so you know if you have a go at this. So it's better to put lots of small bits on instead of just a big blob in the middle, because a big blob in the middle only sticks it in the middle, and I don't want these things moving too much. And one of the other reasons I love glue gel, if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know this. I like to put things on and then I like to be able to move them around. So by using the glue gel, let me show you, look, that's how much I've used. I'm trying to tip it on its side so you can see how big, there you go. It's not very deep at all. And that's just gonna, I'm just bringing that closer to me so I can see where I'm going. So I don't want to cover the corrugated. There we go. So we've got a little bit of dimension, but not loads. Look how pretty it looks already. All we've done is put the bottom 2 layers on. So let's just get the rest of these corners put on. Yeah, so lots of little blobs rather than a couple of big blobs. Top tip. And I'm using a cocktail stick because I just can't use the syringes anymore. But if you can, that's marvellous. So let's do the same on this corner. I think I've just squashed that poor thing doing. So just over the edge. Gorgeous. So pretty. I'm just taking it, I don't know whether you can see, I've just taken this rose just off the edge of the canvas. Only a couple of millimeters, I'll show you in a sec. Just a couple of millimeters off the edge, look. That looks gorgeous already. And now we're going to start in the middle. So this key, remember we had everything in sections. So the key is going under here. Yeah, and I might put the key on some twine, but I haven't decided yet, so I'm going to leave the key to one side. It can get tucked on at the end. And now we're going to build up the centre. We're going to build up the centre, same way we would do a card, really. And build up each layer. I do know that when I get to this section here, which is why I didn't use the glue right to the edge, because this blue flower is going to be slightly tucked under there. And the reason I know that is because it's how I planned it. So now I'm putting a little bit more glue gel on this circle because I do want this one raised. Still not loads. It's not 6 inches off the canvas. It's only a few millimeters. You've seen my technical my technical holder. And now do you see why the basic layout that you do at the beginning is so important? Because I've got this here, look, and it's going to follow on. It's going to follow on with the background that we stamped. So these extras, look, are following on. It just looks so fab. Make sure that's central. And then this topper is going on now. And I'm actually not going to ink the edge of that. I'm going to leave it clean. And I just love that sentiment. Kindness can change the world. I just love it. So again with the glue gel. In fact, I'm not. I'm going to do this on foam tape just in case the glue gel comes through. So I've changed my mind, because I do use a lot of glue gel, as you know. So I'm going to do this on foam tape. I'm not sure whether it would or not, but why take the risk if you don't need to? So this is going on foam tape. We're not far off done, everybody. 1 hour 50, that's not bad for me doing this. Imagine if we'd have been doing this from scratch and I was cutting everything out as well. We don't want to think about that. So, oh, why did I pick this foam tape up? Have you ever had a foam tape that's just an absolute pain? I thought I'd got rid of all this. And if I wasn't recording a video now, the colour of air in the room would be more likely to be blue than shabby chic pink. Here we go. Straight in the bin. I am not throwing them on my floor, by the way. I do have my little bin at the side. So let's just pop that right in the centre. So this is going in right in the middle. Make sure it's straight, Phil. And a circle on a circle should be relatively easy to line up. There we go. That's why I like the glue gel. So kindness can change the world. Okay, I'm trying to keep that in the middle so you can see what I'm doing. So what we're going to do now is start adding all the extra embellishments. So the flourishes are actually going on next, because the flowers are going underneath them, above them rather. So I'm going to have the flourishes on next. Oh, it looks nice both ways. And these again are going on with the glue gel. And I'm not trying to get height so much with these as a decent stick, a decent adhesion. So I've found that glue gel is quite good for this. My glue would be as well. So my white glue is also good for this, when you're going onto paper particularly. So I'm going to have the loopy loop at the bottom, and I'm going to tuck that just underneath, I think, just like that. And then the other one's going to go in reverse, because we've got a left and a right facing up there. I'm going to also give you a, so if you're new to watching me, if you're watching me for the first time because you bought the box kit and I've told you that there's a video for creating this project, one of the biggest tips I can give you, well, for me personally, when you use it, because as much as I love glue gel, I am conscious that you, like here, look, you see bits of it poking through. I'm just going to tuck this underneath this leaf. I don't want to cover too much. There we go. So I'm going to tell you what my tip is at the end for the bits of glue gel that you can see, to make it look prettier. Right, so now we're all about layering this project up. I'm leaving the key till the to next to the end, because I might have it dangling on a bit of twine there, but I haven't decided yet. So what we're going to do now is, you can see already that the flowers that come as part of this, in fact, I'm going to show you, because I did actually cut one of the other because this is the colour scheme I was going to go with originally. Yeah, because these flowers are just beautiful, and these match, you see, the rest of the topper. But me being me, I wanted to make it harder on myself and show you how good the stamps are on the papers. So now we're going to start layering up, and we're going to start with the clock. So the clock is going on glue gel. Yeah, and I'm trying to cover as much of that flower up as I can. So I know, just move that to the side, that I need some glue gel there, and I need the most in that corner. So a bit there, and I'm going to have quite a high peak there. And then the bit that's touching the card, the canvas, will act as our glue. And I think that's one of the most common mistakes. We use too much of it, and you don't really need to. So let me just get this in the right position. Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. It's just so pretty. So now you see I can have some flowers underneath it and some stuff above the clock. So I'll do this corner first. Now I've started on this corner, I'll carry on with this corner. So these are all my elements because I popped them in one place, look, for this corner. So these are all the bits that I know I need for this corner. I'm just going to shape these up again. So the white flowers, the alabaster white, remember, are just accessory filler inner flowers. Filler inner flowers. So that is going to go there. Touching at the cocktail stick, so that's going to go there. This is going to go there. I'm just trying not to cover the word up. That's better. And then these little post-it doodahs. This one's going to go on first underneath. So this is the one that says vintage. I love this one. It's a good shape as well. So I'm trying to get this one quite high because it's going to tuck underneath the clock. So this is going just underneath the clock, look. If I can catch it. There we go. It's all about layers and texture and dimension. And then this one's going to go here, look. So I know I need this one to be quite high. Yeah, that will do me just nicely, thank you very much. Then we've got that going there. Oops. It's doing that because I've got glue gel stuck to the end of the cocktail stick. So guess what I'm going to do with that? Wipe it off, Phil. Common sense. So this is just going to cover up the bottom of that flourish, look. I don't want to cover too much of the corner up because there's no point having it, but we are just going to have one more postage stamp under there. In fact, I'll go above. We'll go above. You see how easily it's coming together now? It really is all about the layers and how much you want to have it, the dimension. So this is going to go just there, I think. And I am looking at, just so you know everybody, I'm not just randomly guessing this. I have got a photo that I took on my phone. Remember I told you I took a photo of the layout? And although I can't use my phone to look at the photo, I did have the foresight to send myself, to email myself the photo. Look at that fabulous corner, look. And I've got the photo on the screen in front of me. So now we'll move away from that corner because I've got as much on there as I want. And we're going to come to this section here. Actually, no, we'll do that last. We'll do the other corner first. We'll do the other corner first. So, where are they? Here they are. So we've got 2 flowers, a little white flower, and the postmark. And I'm going to show you this again because I absolutely love this little die. Can you see? Look, it says post within it. Oops. Oh, it looks good both directions. So let's just get these on first, and I'm going to have the blue and the pink just off center. Let's just get that glue. So even though we've got stamped paper flowers, just by shabbying them a little bit, just by rolling the ball tool on them at the edge, we've still managed to get a little bit of texture, and I actually really like that. I think it looks fab. So that's going to go there. I'm trying not to keep the flowers in the same direction. That's going to go overlapping. That's going to go there. And then this fabulous little thing is going to go over the top of that flower. So this is going to be a bit tricky, so I'll just get a little bit of glue gel on there, because I'm popping glue gel onto a flower that's not set already. Which is why I opted for the top corner instead of the bottom one. So I'm just bringing this closer to myself. Oh, that's just lovely. Look at that for dimension. Oops. That's just fabulous. Okay, so I keep saying fabulous. I'm sorry, everybody, but it is. It is fabulous. So now all these flowers here, where I've got the most, are for the middle, this corner here. So you know there's a pattern with me by now. Top left, bottom right, top left, bottom right, or top right, bottom left. But because we're working on an A4 canvas, it allows you to add these extra little flourishes. And you can see now, look, that lovely colour from the paints is just fading into the background, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. So let's get these flowers on. And they're all obviously going on gel. And I don't want to cover the whole of this corner up. I'm just going to try and come round a little bit. And the glitter will be added well, obviously there's going to be glitter added to this, but it will be added at the end. Here we go. So I've got 3 blue flowers. So blue, pink, blue, pink, and blue. So I've still managed to create the dimension without overpowering that corner. I'm just moving these a little bit, hence the glue gel. In fact, I'm going to put that one underneath. So this is the front one. I'm trying to make sure I've covered up the... That's it. That's spot on. Absolutely spot on. And then I've just got one more pink one, which is going here. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. It's always interesting watching other people and how they lay things out, because we're all different. I like lots of embellishments, as you can probably gather, but you don't have to do that. You can put as many or as few or as many as you want on. So we've got the little post-it vintage postmark thing here, and that's also getting tucked underneath that pink flower. So oops, I'm balancing out. Just going to turn that around to myself so I can see where I'm going. And I'm going to save that, because if I have the key on there... Oh, decisions. So just so you know, on my original layout, I've got that there, and I've got the key there, but I'm now wondering whether I want... No, I'm going to stick to my plan. Stick to the plan. I'm sticking to the plan. All these little postage stamps, aren't they just fabulous? So I'm going to put the key on now, and I am going to put it on a little bit of twine. If I can find the edge of the twine, we are. And of course, there it is. So a little bit of craft twine. Just so we have some movement. And I'm not going to tie this in a bow. I'm literally just going to leave it as it is. I'm going to snip off the excess and then glue it underneath this corner. And I'm using my white glue for this rather than glue gel, because this will set quicker. So just a little bit on the end there. And I'm going to poke up. I'm going to poke that up. Don't worry, I can move all them back in position after. I'm going to go a little bit higher. And just hold that in place for a second. That's fab. So let's just fix these that I battered. That's why I like the gel. That's it. So we've now got the movement from the key, look. We could have had 2 on, but I stuck to 1. Right, so now we're on the very last part, everybody. And I'm just popping the embellishments down here now. So I'm kind of doing a replication of what's up there, but with an extra embellishment. I've clearly got a dried bit of glue gel in my nozzle, which is why it's curling up instead of coming straight out, but sent to triers and all that. So I'm going to come in about that distance, and then the blue one is going over the top. I need a bit more. So the blue one's going over the top. The little one is going in there. And then for this bottom corner, I've got two flourishes left. I've got the postmark, which is the same as the one at the top. So my instinct is to use the same one. Or I've got this one here, and I quite like that. So this one here, which is from the A4 stamp set, is stamped in the same paper as that. Do you know what? I think I've changed my mind. I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to stick to that one underneath, so it's not the same as the top corner. Could have both if we wanted. So just a little bit of dimension from that, and we are nearly done. And now I feel guilty for not using that, but I don't. Oh, it looks nice here, look. It also looks nice there. I'm not putting it on. Look at that for restraint. I've still got these little flowers to put on. So remember at the beginning of the video, I said that I kept some of these alabaster flowers just to break up the colour from the papers, the polka dot paper and the blue paper, and it's just put them in strategic places, and it does break up the expanse of the paper flowers. I've got one more bigger one here, and then one more small one. I'm looking at my picture to see where I had them. It was there. And then I've got one more little one. So let me look at where I think that needs to go. I think it needs to go there. That's going to go just there. So we've broken up the colour. So last job, everybody, we've got 2 little hearts to put on. I'm not going to put that on. My instinct is that it looks better there, look. But because I've got one at the top, I'm not going to put it on. It might end up. Yeah, in fact it is. It is. I'm sorry. You can laugh all you like. You can laugh all you like. Because this is how it is, and you'll know. You'll know this. So what did I say right at the beginning? Always have a plan and change it. Though you don't need to change it. I think if you've got a basic idea of where stuff's going, it does help. It really does. I'm just awkward. First to admit it. There we go. So I've got 2 little hearts to put on, and we've got the 3 butterflies. Now I like my butterflies to be quite high up. So let's just see where we want these. So I think that looks really rather fabulous down in that corner. Yeah, it does. It looks gorgeous there. And then we need one facing in the opposite direction up here somewhere. So let's come there. So I've cut 3. I always for some reason I always cut 3 butterflies or stamp 3 butterflies, and more often, quite often, I'll only use 2. And that rule of having 3, I think that's absolutely fabulous. Even if I do say so myself, that rule of 3 is an unwritten rule that we put on ourselves. 3, 5, you know, the uneven thing. But I'm going to do that because it does look really rather nice under there. So I'm tucking this underneath there. I don't normally have a butterfly underneath, but it does look quite nice under there. See if I can lift that leg up. Wing even, it's not a leg, it's a wing. There we go. Come on, do as you're told. We're on the last bit. That's it. Yeah, I think that looks beautiful. So the 2 little hearts. Let's just find somewhere to tuck these 2 little hearts. Where are they on my sheet? So on my sheet, there's one down there. On my picture, there's one down there. Where's the other one? You can see one down here. Where's the other one? Oh no, I've only got one on my photo. No, right, one it is. I'll probably find it after. It's down here, right at the very bottom. Right at the very bottom. Okay, so only one more job to do now, and that's some random gems. Some random gems in the diamond colour. I'm not going to put the random gems on in the cornflower blue, because in the cornflower blue they are in the centre of the flowers, and I don't want it to be the same. So these are just diamond ones, and I always like a couple of random gems. Do you see what I mean now about that watery background? It literally is a watery background. It's in the background. So let me just see where I want any extras. So I'll have one there. We'll have one there. So all I'm doing when I'm putting these, looking where to put these gems, I like to tuck them in little corners, look, or little spaces where there isn't anything. I think I'll have another one there and another one there, and then we will stop. Is there such a thing as OTT? Well, maybe. But you know what? It's your project. Do what you like. I'm sorry, but I feel like we need one up here as well. So we're going to have one that just there. And then that is it. We are finished. Apart from a bit of glitter. So earlier on I said to you about my top tip for, I'll probably put that on later, my top tip for the glue gel. And the bits of glue gel that are showing, like there's a little bit showing through the postmark there. So my top tip is to just have a little bit of glitter, Diamond Dazzle, or whatever your favourite glitter is. And I'm going to do a little bit along the edges of this corrugated card. So I'm not putting it everywhere, I'm just going to put little bits on. So I don't want it covered with glitter. He says, putting it everywhere. No, I'm not. I'm just putting a bit on, look. And it's one of those things that it's just a little detail. So now as I pour the glitter over my canvas to get it in those places, it's going to catch those areas where the glue gel is. And then it doesn't matter because it will look pretty, which it does look, I can see that already. So it doesn't matter if you've got a bit of glue gel showing now because it's covered in Diamond Dazzle. So let's go to the flourish, although you can't see any on that flourish now. So we literally on the last section, which is adding a touch of glitter, and it just finishes the whole thing off. Or it does for me. You don't have to put glitter on if you don't want, but I think it looks really rather lovely. And I've just decided where the other heart's going because I think that's too long, that string. So I'm going to cover it a bit. See, there's always a reason for everything. So I'm just going to have that just to the side of that twine. And then obviously when the glue gel sets, it will stop that key swinging all over the place. It will only swing from the bottom of the heart. Yeah, there you go. Problem solved. And there we go, everybody. So I've got to tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed doing that. I know it's taken me 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's actually not bad because this is a mixed media project with lots of stuff on it. And we've done it from scratch, remember, more or less, apart from just the cutting out that I did. So I'll do a quick close-up for you while I just make some space so you can just see what you need to see. So here we go. So starting from the top, we've got the gorgeous, where's my pokey tool? We've got that gorgeous Oxford Blues and the rose tinted chalk paints in the background to give us that lovely watery effect in the background. Love the fact that we've got very definite blue, we've got very definite pink, and we've got some overlap with the lilac. So that's the die. So that is the fabulous postmark die from the magazine box kit. We've got our corrugated cardstock here, shabbied and vintaged with the gesso and the gesso splats. And do you see what I mean about the splats now? They're very, very less obvious. You hardly notice them now, but it's texture. And then we move down to all these beautiful embellishments that have been created from the box kit. So literally it's stamped and cut out from the box kit. So you've got that gorgeous corn underneath there. You've got a plethora of flowers cascading down the top. You can still see the sentiment. You can now. I've just moved that up a bit. Oh, well, you can't. There you go, look. Kindness can change the world. I love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah. And then you've got the background stamping, you've got the papers from the kit, all these little postmarks are from the kit. The grey board is from the box kit, the gems are from my own. The Crystal Gemporium, there is a link in the description. You've got the stitch torn circle dies there. And then everything else here has been created from the box kit. Do you see what I mean about the glitter? Look, it's gone onto the glue gel there, and I think that's really rather beautiful. It's not too big that you can't use that as home decor. You could use it for what you want, really. I think that would look lovely stood on a what do you call it, the legs that you use for plates, those little plate stands. And there you go. So we've now created a A4 proper canvas. So it's a proper canvas rather than a canvas board from scratch using the magazine box kit number 9. So I hope you've enjoyed that and it's given you some inspiration. Please do make sure you subscribe to my channel. So just hit the subscribe button, and then once you've done that, filled all your details in, then I need you to click the little notification bell. And what that means is every time I put a new video on my YouTube channel, you'll get a notification. Please also remember you can ask to join my Facebook group. So my Facebook group is called Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. And this is a private group that is, I manage it myself. And it's a fabulous place, full of inspiration, full of lovely crafters, lots of ideas. And obviously you get sneaky peeks from me. And I also do a freebie Friday where I give something away every Friday. And we have a monthly challenge. It's just a really lovely, positive place to be. So search for the Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. I also need you to like and follow my Sentimentally Yours page. So just search Sentimentally Yours and you'll find me there, and follow the page, please. And before I let you go, you can also find me on Twitter just by searching for Phill M Martin. Remember, it's 2 L's, Phill M Martin. 2 L's, look, where are you? There we are, 2 L's, Phill M Martin. And you will also get me on Instagram with the same name, Phill M Martin. And that's the Sentimentally Yours, look. There you go. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed that. And I hope you love this new box kit as much as I do. And this is just something completely different that I would never normally have time to do for you, which is why I'm doing it ahead of time. To show you from, look how fabulous the grey board looks now in the background, look. See how it tones in so well. Just fabulous. And this is already starting to set. So again, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you love this box kit as much as I do, because I think it's particularly stunning. I think it's probably my favourite of my non-Christmas ones. Yeah, I'm going to say that. So I'm going to let you go now. I'm going to go myself because I need a coffee that's hot. So thank you very much, everybody. Stay safe. Have a lovely crafty time. Please do share what you make with the box kit on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, because I love to see what you've done. And there you go. So thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the box kit. Happy crafting. Bye.